Hey guys, it's Sam the Geek, and today I'm going to be talking about why I'm completely done with books. Now, a lot of you have heard my rants on, physical media and stuff, but one that always strikes people is me just being completely done with books. Now, I'm sorry, but I just have no desire to sit down and read an actual book because I have so goddamn many books. The amount of books that I receive is just inconceivable. I have a bigger backlog of books than I do video games, and that's saying something considering I get a shitload of video games. And it comes from some of it comes from the fact that I'm very prominent in my local Republican Party, so I do get a lot of conservative books and stuff like this. George Bush's Decision Points is gigantic. I mean, I guess everyone knows what the size of an iPhone is. Like, it is huge. I don't know if I'll ever get through this. And that's a big book. And then, a lot of people also send me stuff, just books from the Republican Party. And it gets to the point where I often get duplicates. But some of the duplicates come with perks. But what I gotta say is that I don't even have enough time for that stuff, let alone my own reading that I've picked up through libraries discarding books that I found really interesting. Like, here's one, The Terrible Secret, which is about Hitler's final solution and how Germany basically covered it up. I also have stuff like Mad in America, which is about people diagnosed with very, very bad mental illnesses in America and their struggles. It's very old, I think. I think it's a liberal book, but it should be interesting. Never gotten even a chance to look at that. Then, The Psychology of House, which is a show that I really enjoyed. But I just have no time for these books. I have so many goddamn books, it's not even funny. And a lot of people that I know buy me fiction, and I'm like, I don't read fiction. I don't know what it is. Whenever I start reading fiction, I get bored. Completely bored. It's uninteresting to me. I have no desire whatsoever to read fiction. And I mean, some of the stuff I get is really good. Like, Ceremony here, which is something one of my friends sent me from the Pueblo. It's a very interesting book, and it's about Native Americans and a lot of the culture even around here. It's about like a young Native American who just came back from fighting the Japanese War in World War II, the Pacific, theater, and it's super interesting. I got like a third of the way through and never finished it. I don't know what it is. I just can't read fiction, even the stuff I like. I just can't get through it. But it mainly comes to the point that I just love documentaries and video games and stuff a lot more than actually sitting down to read a book. And books are difficult to read, not because it's just, I don't know, it's just such an archaic form of media. I mean, I have to have the light on, I have to sit, and for me it has to be quiet, and I could just slam through pages like nothing. But, I don't know, it's just terrible to me. Whereas with the Kindle, it has rekindled, pardon the pun,
it's 11 o'clock.
My love for books. The Kindle is just the Kindle app on the iPhone and on the Droid. I have it on my tablet. It's beautiful. It's absolutely beautiful. Because people are like, oh, how could you read on your phone? Well, people complain that it's only like 2 or 3 paragraphs per page on the iPhone. That's perfect for me. Because it's not just looking at this George W. Bush book, man. Like, let me see it here again. Come on. These books are going to fall. Too many books. This George W. Bush book is so big and intimidating, and I'm just thumbing through it is just insane to me. It's really intimidating. Whereas on my iPhone, going through a couple of paragraphs, whenever I use the bathroom, I open the Kindle app, boom, 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 pretty much read through 5 or 6 pages on the Kindle, put it away, and go about my business. Or when I'm in the car, I thumb through a couple pages, or anything. It's super easy, and it's just, I don't know, it's just rejuvenated my passion for reading, because I love reading about a lot of things. And I do read a lot online. I read articles all the fucking time. But books, I haven't really been reading for the past couple of years, even though I have tons of them. I have so many fucking books laying around here. But I just don't have the time to actually sit down. And usually when I read, it's either in the bathroom or in a dark place. Like, I'm sitting here with the lights off just trying to get to bed. And I can just read through a couple pages. And that's how I've read at least 5 or 6 books in the last 2 months on this phone. And that boggles a lot of people's minds because they just can't, see the concept of someone reading off a phone. But for me, if it wasn't for the phone, I probably wouldn't be reading at all. Books. I'd be reading articles and stuff. And it's kind of sad because I have a shitload of books that I don't have any idea what to do with. I'll probably start reading George W. Bush's book just because I'm actually really interested in what he had to say. But other than that, I don't even think I'd get around to stuff that I really would like to read, like, House and Psychology and Mad in America, stuff like that. And I've only gotten halfway through The Terrible Secret. And I love reading about World War II stuff. I find that part of history fascinating. But unfortunately, I just haven't had time. And the best way for me to consume them is a couple paragraphs at a time on my phone. And a lot of people just don't seem to be able to comprehend that. A lot of people I even talk to that are my friends, they're just like, I don't know how you could even do that, Samuel. Reading on your phone seems stupid. But I don't know. And it's watered down reading enough to where it's extremely digestible, and I just go throughout my day reading. Whereas I just can't sit down, thumb through a couple pages of this book, and then put a bookmark in it, and then remember to pick it up again. I mean, I'll always have my fucking phone. But when am I going to remember, oh, I was reading House and Psychology, I better thumb through a couple other pages. No. And then paperbacks always get damaged for me. You could tell I haven't read this book just because it's in good shape. Samuel out.